fact that this election is between...
They sold farm recently for 100 million.
There's no meaningful development that can happen without peace, without us being united.
Arrest all unregistered vehicles.
I think we have shown the depth and breadth of talent in our Conservative Party.
Because you want to prevent a situation whereby that powdery substance will be flushed immediately.
Tell you for a fact that this election is between...
They sold farm recently for 100 million.
There's no meaningful development that can happen without peace, without us being united.
Arrest all unregistered vehicles.
I think we have shown the depth and breadth of talent in our Conservative Party.
Because you want to prevent a situation whereby that powdery substance will be flushed immediately.
Tell you for a fact that this election is between...
They sold farm recently for 100 million.
There's no meaningful development that can happen without peace, without us being united.
Arrest all unregistered vehicles.
I think we have shown the depth and breadth of talent in our Conservative Party.
All right, a very good morning to you and thank you so much for joining us on another edition of Staright Talk right here on Bright Television, home of talk and entertainment. Don't forget that the program is basically designed to look deep into issues that affect Nigeria as a country and Nigerians as citizens. Welcome to the program. My name is Ayobami Ademo. Kindly follow us on all our social media platforms on Instagram, Facebook, and catch us live on YouTube. Make sure you get your TSTV decoder, channel 102 on TSTV Africa. Let's get to talk about some big stories in the media space this morning. The President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, signs the 2023 21.83 trillion naira appropriation bill into law. President signed these on Tuesday while it was at the National Assembly members were with him at the Council Chamber of the State House. Also, the President directed the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed, to work with the federal lawmakers with a view to revisit some of the changes affected on the executive budget proposal by the National Assembly. The President also said that his decision to sign this 2023 appropriation bill into law is as a result of no delay in the implementation of this particular budget, and it says that this administration is working all hard to make sure that there is free, fair and credible elections as we look towards a transition process to another democratically elected government. Let's listen to the President after the council chamber in the Asa Rock, which happened, I beg your pardon, yesterday. We'll be back to give you more.
This administration, along with the 2022 Supplementary Appropriation Bill, principally to enable us to respond to the havoc which the recent nationwide floods did to our infrastructure and agricultural sectors. I would like to sincerely thank the Senate President, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, and all the distinguished honorable leaders and members of the National Assembly for the expeditious consideration and passage of the appropriation bill. As I mentioned during the presentation of the 2023 appropriation bill, early passage of the budget proposal is critical to ensure effective delivery of our legacy projects, a smooth transition program, and effective takeoff of the incoming administration. I appreciate the firm commitment of the Ninth National Assembly to the restoration of a predictable January to December fiscal year, as well as the mutual understanding, collaboration, and engagements between officials of the executive and the legislature and the legislative arms of government. These have made the quick consideration and passage of our fiscal bills possible over the last 4 years. The Finance Bill 2022 includes measures necessary for the effective implementation of the 2023 budget and the attainment of the various set objectives. As you will recall, I laid the 2023 appropriation bill before the joint session of the National Assembly on the 7th of October 2022 and forwarded the 2022 finance bill thereafter. I believe the next administration will sustain the early presentation of the annual appropriation bill to the National Assembly to ensure its passage before the beginning of the fiscal year. I firmly believe the next administration will also sustain the current public financial management reform efforts, further improve the budgeting processes, and particularly maintain the tradition of supporting the appropriation bills with finance bills designed to facilitate their implementation. To sustain and institutionalize the gains of the reforms, we must expedite action and conclude work on the organic budget law for it.
Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari will be signing as the President of the Federation. And of course, this appropriation bill also records the highest deficit position since 1999, as Nigeria as a country is as the case may be. Well, let's move away from that. We're crossing straight to some of the reactions by many Nigerians over the New Year letter from the former President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. In this letter, the former President, Olusegun Obasanjo, endorsed the Labour Party candidate, Peter Obi, and of course, he also criticized some of the movement or the achievements and the failures of this present administration. Some of those people who have criticized are members of the People's Democratic Party and of course the All Progressive Congress APC. And apart from that, we've also had some elder statesmen who has also come out to talk about this particular endorsement and the letter by the former president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Olusegun Obasanjo. In his reaction, the former External Affairs Minister, Professor Bolaji Akinyemi, says that as the former president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Olusegun Obasanjo is expected to emulate the likes of Gawan by sitting at home and of course observing but not writing letters. Let's listen to his reactions, and of course we'll take some other ones before we introduce our guest on the program this morning.
Bob, don't let us spend this program on General Obasanjo's letter or ideas and what have you, because some of us believe he also is part of the foundation of the problems that we have in this country. And one of the things that I have said is, once you have occupied that post of president and you have served your term, please go home and be like General Gawan, be like General Abdul Salam. Just be quiet. You've had your term, you've had your innings, if I can use cricket language, and let others get on. But for you to create problems for us, and then you come back and you present yourself as problem solver, I find it difficult to swallow. I know there are people who say, ignore the messenger and just focus on the message. I'm sorry, I'm a political scientist. That doesn't rub with me. In fact, I'm sure whoever came up with that must be a politician.
Former Minister of Exterior Affairs talking about Professor Bolaji Akinyemi reacting to the letter of the former president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Olusegun Obasanjo. In the same vein, the governor of Rivers State, Governor Nyesom Wike, has also mocked the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, over the endorsement of Peter Obi by his former principal. Listen to this. We'll come back to react more.
For a fact that this election is between
justice. So saying that me and Governor Tom frustrated PDP's microservice to Southeast will not make people of Southeast not to. They know those who don't want presidency to come here. So saying this will not help. It will not help. If you're a bad product, you're a bad product. If you're a good product, you're a good product. After all, why do you call me I'm Autumn? He works under somebody. The person I recommended to Nigeria as another person. Is it me? You know what they call it, recommendation? I worked with somebody for 8 years. And we're using it as a campaign that when we're in office, we did well. Then my boss is recommending another person not to be. There's something fundamentally wrong. Am I the one? Am I the one? So why me? Am I a person who made recommendation for another person? Go and hold your boss who recommended another person rather than you. And I was praying that Obasanjo should not say anything. When I saw the letter last night, I was touched. If your principal cannot recommend you, then there's something fundamentally wrong. After all, you people went to see your principal, to lobby your principal to recommend you. It took your principal a long time. He now wrote a letter to all Nigerians. So look, I'm not too comfortable. I mean, I'm not bothered about the other people. What you do? I just don't work with you. You work with you. He knows. So, I'm not the one who said.
Well, according to the governor of Rivers State, Yoson Wike, and of course a member of the People's Democratic Party, says that something is fundamentally wrong as Olusegun Obasanjo endorses Peter Obi as his own candidate. Well, just like Olusegun Obasanjo, another person, leader of the Pan Niger Delta Forum, talking about Chief Edwin Clark, has also endorsed the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, ahead of the February 25th presidential elections. Lots of reactions as regards that. My guest joins me on the program after this break, and of course we'll be looking at the endorsement and what it means for the Labour Party. He is the member of the media team, Labour Party PCC. After the break, he joins me on the program to have this discussion. Stay with us, please.
Tell you for a fact that this election is between.
They sold form recently for 100 million.
There's no meaningful development that can happen without peace, without us being united.
Arrest all unregistered vehicles.
I think we have shown the depth and breadth of talent in our Conservative Party.
Because you want to prevent a situation whereby that powdery substance will be flushed immediately.
All right, glad to know you're still with us right here on Bright Television, the of talk and entertainment. Well, to look deep into the reactions of the endorsement, which was also the first New Year message from the former president Olusegun Obasanjo as regards the presidential candidate of Labour Party. He's a member of the media team, Labour Party PCC. I'm talking about Ibrahim Ismaila Umar. Thank you so much for joining us on the program this morning.
Thank you for having me here.
And I will say compliment of the season.
And Happy New Year.
And Happy New Year to you.
Yes.
Well, what a way to start a new year for the Labour Party indeed. I think that's a love letter to the Labour Party by the former president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Lots of reactions from there. In fact, some persons have also come out to criticize the former president, saying that the presidency anyway said that his administration was really corrupt, and many people have also hailed him saying that, well, probably this is the best choice the president has ever made so far. For your party, how do you react to this? Let's kick off from there.
So I'll start personally. I was touched when I saw the letter.
Okay.
I see a man who is always standing for Nigerians. He's the former president Olusegun Obasanjo.
Okay.
He was one of the generals that stand in the line to make Nigeria one, and still he is working to make sure that Nigeria work again. So kudos to him, and he's indeed a mentor, a great statesman, and his name must be written in gold. Olusegun Obasanjo has shown to us that Nigeria confess before any other thing. And to us, the Labour Party, it is a great plus to us having this endorsement, reminding us of what we're supposed to do. Not just the Labour Party, but Nigerians, reminding us that 2023 is our year to take back our country from the killing to healing, from consumption to production, from the tyranny and the cruelty of the modern barons that take our country and they are not willing to give in. So it is a plus to us, and we say kudos to our father, His Excellency Olusegun Obasanjo, and I assured him, as we the youth, we are going to do the needful.
Well, indeed, he addressed a lot of things as regards, the youth and, of course, the 2023 elections. He also criticized the present administration, led by President Muhammadu Buhari. But away from that, a lot of persons have also said, well, it's high time the president also sit back and, observe rather than writing letters. We've seen people criticize him on letters. He's been writing letters here and there. One of those who mentioned and said that, well, it's a normal thing for President Olusegun Obasanjo to criticize people. After he left power as a military head of state, he criticized those he handed over power to, and of course, till date, he has always been criticizing. And the only person he never criticized is himself when he came on board in 1999 till 2017. So Nigerians are no more listening to him. Do you think that's the way?
When you say political value, they talk about political value, and even some people even go to the extent of saying Olusegun Obasanjo doesn't have political value. But let's examine President Olusegun Obasanjo in person. He was the first person to hand over willingly from military to civilian, and again the first person in the Fourth Republic to hand over from civilian to civilian. So Olusegun Obasanjo epitomizes democracy, and his reach goes across the nook and crannies of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. You can't say a person of this caliber should just sit down and watch while his house is on fire. He needs to talk, he needs to stand for Nigerians at this critical moment in time. And he just lead the line as he always does. As general, a retired general, he lead the line, showing an example for others to follow. Because this is what we expect from our leaders, our elders, to come out and say the truth, stand for the truth, and act the truth. Well,
reactions from up Minister of Exterior Affairs, talking about Professor Bolaji Akinyemi. You listen to what he said. He said Obasanjo is also part of Nigerians' problem, and at this time it should probably emulate the style of the likes of General Gowon and Absalami Abubakar, who will just probably be quiet and of course observe or lead from behind without making a public a show of what they feel about it. And some persons have also said that this is also a move, a bid for the former president, to also have his third term, that is using Peter Obi as a forefront for his third term ambition. Will you react to that?
But if you're going to be fair to Olusegun Obasanjo, if he's going to support any candidate on the basis of any sentiment or any feeling of affiliation, he should have supported Atiku and Konkosu. Konkosu was his minister, and Atiku Abubakar was his vice president. But this endorsement was born out of strong conviction that Peter Obi.
Why do you think he didn't support Atiku Abubakar? Because PDP is actually
he warned us. He warned us that he have never.
PDP is campaigning on the achievement of Obasanjo to put Atiku into
yes, and that's what showed to us that Atiku Abubakar is not at all credible for this job. Because even Olusegun Obasanjo, his principal, warned us that he have never come across a person as corrupt as Atiku Abubakar. So that shows you the level of commitment, antecedent, and the selflessness of Olusegun Obasanjo. He's indeed a statesman. He can stand for truth anywhere and at any time.
Well, the former governor of Lagos State and of course the presidential candidate of the All Progressive Congress, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, made a statement while campaigning for the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in 2017, 2018 thereabout. And he said something. He said Olusegun Obasanjo is a master when it comes to rigging elections. Do you think this is his plan to also rig himself, or his kind of puppets, as the case may be? They've called him that out, saying that he wants to be a godfather to Peter Obi. Do you think it's a plan to rig election and of course to still be influential when it comes to ruling Nigeria?
When you talk about influence, Olusegun Obasanjo already have influence in the country. When you talk about rigging election, it's laughable to say Olusegun Obasanjo is coming to rig election. He doesn't have any power here. He's just reminding Nigerians of their responsibility. This is our responsibility to take back this country from all these ills that we are suffering from. Olusegun Obasanjo is 80 years old, and reminding us, we the youth, that you have to, he categorically reminds us of our future. Nigeria is projected to have reached 500 million by 2050. What are they planning for our future? That's what he is reminding us about. Are you talking about poverty? Nigeria is now the most the poverty capital of the world, which 133 out of the 200 estimated population of the country are living below poverty line. The inflation rate as of October 2022 was 21.6%, the worst since Fourth Republic. Are we talking about illiteracy, unemployment? 15 to 20 million of Nigerian graduates are roaming the street without job. So that's what His Excellency Olusegun Obasanjo is reminding us about. We should take back our country.
All right, let's focus on your principal, that is Peter Gregory Obi, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party. Well, when we talk about track records, some persons have also, tried as much as possible to put it on ground, saying that, well, many other political parties have done better. Some persons have said, well, if we're going by track record, in Lagos State, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has shown that he's a good leader, and of course he had plans for Lagos State. Alhaji Atiku Abubakar and his followers have also said, well, under the Olusegun Obasanjo's administration, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar also supported and worked, effortlessly and tirelessly to see that Olusegun Obasanjo's administration was a better one in terms of economy. And for Peter Obi, some persons have said, well, it's a good record from the former Anambra State governor. But above all, there are no many infrastructural facilities to prove that he had a plan for Anambra State. Track records, do you think that would favor Peter Obi?
Yes.
Considering
definitely
the right candidate?
Definitely.
What are these track records?
You have a lot of track records. When most of the governors in this country borrow huge amount of money to their state, he left humongous amount of money in the account of Anambra State. So this is one of the track record he left.
Leaving a lot of money without using it for infrastructure.
No, he used it
without developing the state.
He focused more on the problem of the state at the time, which is insecurity. And you know something? During his reign, there is no single armed robbery in Anambra State. So the security personnel are increased and optimally equipped in the state, buying vehicles for them and many other things to make sure that they deal decisively with insecurity.
So, well, apart from insecurity, what are the other things that you think will put him ahead of every other presidential candidate?
Education.
We have a Concourse there. He has also done a lot when it comes to developing Kano.
Yes,
and of course, the former governor and former minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So we are comparing the track records. When we want to look at CV, if you want to employ somebody, you actually look at what he has achieved, what he has done, where he's coming from, where he has worked, and how to put him into your own vision as your organization. So for Nigeria, the CEO of this Nigeria, what do you think, and what makes Peter Obi qualify as the next CEO?
One thing that made him stand out among the candidates is, you agree with me that presiding this country has to do with physical and mental strength. You need to be physically fit and mentally alert to carry the responsibility of Nigeria, because it's not presiding Nigeria is not like going there to chill, as we see in most of our leaders. They are going there, they are more concerned about the privilege of office than the responsibility. But we need a system that will change the narrative. Changing the narrative in the sense that who is going to come and be more concerned about our own responsibility. At this stage in time, we Nigerians need someone that knows our problem and is willing to solve those problems. So His Excellency Peter Obi is fit physically and mentally fit. And when you talk about another track record after that of security that I mentioned, education, when he came on board, he found out that Anambra State, I think Anambra State was 24th among the 36 states of the Federation in terms of education. But during his reign, Anambra State became second among the 36 states. And it is also a record. He was the first governor to bought more than 300 computers for secondary schools. So education was center of his priority.
Now, we have lots of challenges that we face as a country, Nigeria. Education is one of them, security issue is one of them, and getting back on track when it comes to the economy of our country, Nigeria. Globally, the global space and the world is facing real-time challenges when it comes to economic issues. We have inflation everywhere. The Russia-Ukraine effect is also part of what many countries are facing. Nigeria is also part of that countries that are facing that. Now, to cushion this effect and to bring the economy back to its main place for a country like Nigeria, how do you think Peter Obi can get it done without telling us that he's going to keep money for Nigerians, but will definitely work for Nigerians? This
is his specialty. He has that entrepreneurial
spirit. He called himself a trader.
Yes, yes.
So we're looking at reviving the economy of our country, Nigeria.
The country, yes. Not that's that entrepreneurial spirit. He lost his father when he was just 9, but he came out to be one of the most wealthiest people in the southeast. This show you the kind of, he is blessed with both wealth of experience and experience of wealth, how to gather, how to manage, how to utilize, and how to deal decisively with any problem that you face along the line. So this is Peter Obi for you. I told you before, some governors are leaving states with huge amount of debt. He left a humongous amount of money in the account of Anambra State's government, and nobody did that before. So this shows you the level of integrity in him, and it's only a person of integrity that is going to govern this country and take it to the trajectory of prosperity.
Well, many experts will argue with you, will tell you that, well, the situation of Anambra State when it was a governor is quite different from the present situation we find ourselves as a country, Nigeria. As we speak right now, the debt rate in our country, Nigeria, is on the high side. I just mentioned that the highest deficit position since 1999 is this present appropriation bill signed by the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So there are lots of issues to be tackled by the next elected President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It's no more the usual way of doing things. It's now the reality on ground. Many political experts have also said, well, we need a person that will think deep and look at a team that will work with him. Have you seen Peter Obi with a strong team that will work with him?
Yeah. Definitely.
What are those things that can revive Nigeria?
Let's talk about the Labour Party Presidential Campaign Council, for example. They are a list of carefully selected individuals who are willing to carry the cross of people emancipation across every region in the country. Are you talking about the rich? A team is formed and their profile is first class. And every portion of the country is represented. Anybody you see with Peter Obi, if you go and take his track record, you find out he has an A1, especially in terms of people in emancipation, selfless service to humanity. So those are the people surrounding him. There's a popular public parlance, show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are.
Well, that's indeed accurate. Show me your friends and I'll show you who you are. Well, the issue of the former DG of the Presidential Campaign Committee, I'm talking about Doyin Okupe, Dr. Doyin Okupe, who was allegedly accused and, of course, taken to court as regards the fraud, money theft theft and the money laundering and fraud that happened during his own involvement in another administration. Now, you show me your friend and I'll show you. Many political parties
he was not convicted of fraud. He was not convicted of money corruption. He just received money legally approved by the president.
He was sentenced.
Yes, the Money Laundering Act. There is an amount that you did not supposed to collect.
But he was sentenced.
Without, yeah, he was sentenced.
He was sentenced.
He was sentenced.
Right.
He was sentenced. But even the judge said it was an honest mistake. That's what she said.
For your party, I know he's resigned. He has resigned. Now we have another eloquent and of course a capable and that is also occupying that position, and someone who has already worked with former President Olusegun Obasanjo. So it's not a vacuum now for the party. But
yes.
is it not a dent for Labour Party, knowing fully well that Peter Obi has said that he's not a corrupt person, but we see people around him who are being accused of corruption?
Yeah, he's not accused of corruption. It's money. He collected money from the then security advisor to the president, approved by the president. But the amount of money is supposed to pass through a bank before reaching him, but he collected the money in cash. That was what he was accused of. And you have to understand that they are just afterwards. They just want to achieve political goals. That's why they are after him. The person that gave him the money was still going around. Nothing happened to him. But the person that collected the money was convicted.
So what does that mean to you and mean to your party?
We know that there is keen interest in everything that we do, and we are under attack because they realize that Nigerians everywhere. You agree with me that Labour Party is the fastest growing party in the whole of Africa, not just Nigeria. So they must have to put something for us to stumble. They can't just leave us, giving us resistance, so that we can just go away like that.
Well, so definitely those orders have been overcome by your party now. So definitely you're moving to a greater height in 2023.
Yes.
Well, with the letter of the President Olusegun Obasanjo, some questions must be asked. Now, the Labour Party, grassroots messages and every other thing that will make sure that you get a very huge number of voters to vote for your party. How is this structure like? Have you been able to penetrate? What's your message structure like? Yeah, the media, a member of the media.
Let me shock you.
What exactly are you doing?
Let me shock you. Labour Party has, the structure of Labour Party is stronger than any other political party in Nigeria. Underline the word, any other political party. Let me tell you where the structure is. People are talking about people are the structure, but it's beyond that. We have an established structure. From the word labor is an integral essence of our survival. We live on a daily bread. From a casual and corporate reward system in our private and public sectors, virtually, if you go out, everyone is a laborer. A Labour Party is a metamorphosis of labor activism in a political strata, ensuring actively that our interests are duly taken care of. Therefore, every existing structure of labor union, every instituted structure of labor union are our structure, starting from NUJ, NLC, Ayuba Waba, the NLC chairman, was with us when we did our retreat at Shida Hotel.
Ayuba Waba was with Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, amongst other Labour Party, Labour unions, or other unions too. Well, with Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu to listen to him. So, if he's with the Labour Party, it doesn't mean that probably he has endorsed. Has he opened his mouth to endorse Labour Party?
No, he did not open up to endorse, but from his body language, you understand that
the body language, APC will also tell you.
And what I'm telling you here is, like, all these instituted labor unions are part of what give birth to Labour Party.
So you feel you have votes from all these instituted labor unions?
We have this confidence that all these instituted labor unions are going to support Labour Party. And again, take the case of the Labour Party, for example. Family. is the fundamental core. No society flourishes without family. So family is the basic core where any society flourishes and germinates. And Labour Party sing Papa, Mama, Pekin, introducing the crease of the party. Labour Party is the only political party in Nigeria that identifies family and uses it as an emblem. Therefore, anybody that if you belong to family, you are directly or indirectly a member of the Labour Party.
Well, interesting conversation indeed, and well, the logo is right there. We'll go for a short break. When we return, we'll conclude on the program this morning. I have my guest in the studio with me, the member of the media team, Labour Party, PCC, talking about Ibrahim Umar. Is a guest on the program this morning. We'll be back after this break. Stay with us, please.
Tell you for a fact that this election is between.
They sold form recently for 100 million.
There's no meaningful development that can happen without peace, without us being united.
Arrest all unregistered vehicles.
I think we have shown the depth and breadth of talent in our Conservative Party.
Because you want to prevent a situation whereby that powdery substance will be flushed immediately.
Good morning and thank you for joining us on today's breakfast show. Surround yourself with people that motivate you. As much as nobody is happy about the last got back, I was so stranded, I didn't know where to go. But because I was connected with my neighbors, all they do was to open the door to get out. You need to come outside of your zone. You need to attend professional and social events to now make your face to be known to the public and you be recognized as a network.
You're still with us. Thank you so much for joining us. The program Staright Talk, right on Bright Television, of talk and entertainment. Ayobami Ademo is my name. I have my guest in the studio with me, a member of the media team of the Labour Party, PCC, talking about Ibrahim Ismaila Omar. Thank you so much for joining us on the program.
Thank you.
Before we had a break, we're trying to analyze those, odds and of course plus and the big advantages for the Labour Party as we approach the 2023 elections. February 5th, 2023 is quite close, and many political parties are doing what they need to do, their assignments, to see how they can get votes from the electorate. Well, for Labour Party, it's been one victory or one, should I call it a challenge to the other. Endorsement here and pulling of or reminders of those persons that have associated themselves with the Labour Party, how they might thank this party. But in the long run, after the resignation of Doyo Kupe as a DG of the Presidential Campaign Committee, we had a former member of that also served as a senior advisor to the former president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, talking about Akin Oshitoko, who is now the DG of your Presidential Campaign Committee. A lot of issues on that particular part. For Zenith Labour Party, they've said, well, he's still a member of the party. Well, I saw another statement by the chairman of the Zenith Party saying that he resigned at a point in time and I wish him all the best. But he still holds the senatorial ticket of that party. How does that affect his full interest for the Labour Party? Now, Labour Party and Zenith Labour Party are two different parties.
They are two different parties. Yes, they are two different parties. And I assure you that he resigned from Zenith Labour Party. He is a full member of Labour Party, and his candidacy with Zenith Labour Party is just they submitted the name. INEC
still understand and still takes him as the candidate, the senatorial candidate of Zenith Labour Party.
Because there is a stipulated debt that even if you want to take out your name, it's not going to work. That happened to former Kano State Governor Ibrahim Shekarau when he left NNPP to PDP. He wants to move his ticket from NNPP to PDP, and it doesn't work. So his loyalty with the Labour Party is full. He's fully a member of the Labour Party now.
But do you think the Zenith Labour Party will definitely find it very interesting to see their own senatorial candidates work for your presidential candidates?
So that's what I am saying. I want you to understand something.
How deep is it? Is it something that your party have been able to resolve with Labour Party, or something that will still come out eventually and affect your party? That's the question I'm asking.
You know something? Obedient movement. I used to say that obedient movement is beyond party. So there are a lot of people from different political parties that are in support of this movement. So being him a member, being them members of Zenith Labour Party, that will not stop them from joining the trend of people emancipation.
So you feel Zenith Labour Party is trying to work with the Labour Party?
Surely, a lot of people are.
And how many Labour Party members are actually working against the Labour Party candidates? If we have people working for, we should have people working against. How many people do you see?
I don't see anybody working against. So far, so good.
Interesting conversation indeed. Well, let's look at some other beautiful priorities, because like I rightly said, February 25th, 2023 is fast approaching. What are the priorities of your party? What are you looking up to in achieving before we get to that D-Day?
What we want to achieve is to make sure that we have an acceptance all over the country, like an acceptance that is unrefined, an acceptance that is driven by the zeal for Nigeria to succeed. If you look at Peter Obi, he's the only candidate that is not giving money to buy people. When we go anywhere, we receive this genuine love from people, genuine unrefined love from people, because we are His Excellency Peter Obi is the only candidate that gives people hope for a better Nigeria. He gives us hope, like more especially we the youth. He gives us hope that we are going to be employed, we are going to be productive, because even among the 7 priorities, there is enhancing the human capitals of the youth, making us more competitive. So His Excellency Peter Obi said, the youth will be the center of my decision making. You see, he cares more about the well-being of the Nigerian people.
So caring more about the well-being of the Nigerian people, and part of his manifesto is that he will care about the well-being of the Nigerian people. Many people have also said that, well, truly his 62-page manifesto really did not, show how to achieve all he has said he wants to achieve. It's not really fleshy the way they expected. Will you say his manifesto has a depth, and of course he's ready to address everything he has mentioned in his manifesto?
Definitely. And
how is he going to go about that?
Let me put into your notice. Nigerians at this stage in time needs a full-breadth solution-based leadership manual that encapsulates and deals decisively and actively with each and every problem faced by a common man on the streets. And the Labour Party manifesto is the only manifesto that goes in line, that goes with the contemporary problem of the Nigerians, touch every part of our problem and bring about solutions to the problems. Take, for example, the first priority among the 7 priorities is cure and unite Nigerians. And end banditry and insurgency,
uniting
Nigerians, manage our diversity, and giving every one of us genuine sense of belonging. Let everyone feel carried alone, that Nigeria is working for everyone, not just for particular group of people. What I want you to understand is Nigeria belongs to every one of us. It did not belong to a particular group of people, region, religion, or any other thing. Nigeria is the only country where the Christian and Muslims come together as demographically equal. So Nigeria is such a diverse country, and His Excellency Peter Obi believed that we can harness from that diversity, utilizing that diversity to our advantage instead of using it as a cost of division. And those capitalists, those people that capitalize on our division, weaponizing our identity and using our emotions to their own gain, it casts for them right now. Because people are wise. Nigerians are wiser than they think. You can't deceive Nigerians. Take, for example, Yoruba group, I forget, Efenefere, endorsed His Excellency Peter Obi. Olusegun Obasanjo leave his kingsman and endorse His Excellency Peter Obi. A lot of people. I'm talking about Peter Obi, the person that met 2 women among his...
Ayu Adebanjo, he endorsed Peter Obi.
Yes.
Afenifere has endorsed some of the part of Afenifere endorsed Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu for records, being straight now. And for what's called the former president Olusegun Obasanjo endorsed. Many other persons have endorsed. Now, you also recall that every endorsement comes from an individual, and of course an icon, as the case may be, but they all have one PVC.
Yes.
They all have one vote that will count.
Yes.
So every Nigerian must take that decision. How do you want other people to also understand the vision and of course the 7 priorities of this government, if elected the president, that will come on board?
So that's what I said earlier. The structure, people are the structure, because every one of us have a single PVC. For them to understand the manifesto is very, very simple, because it's the most simplest piece, because it touches our problem, our contemporary problem, the problem we suffer from day in, day out.
The solution to this problem, to these challenges?
Yeah, the challenges we face. Yes, it solves everything.
Well, interesting indeed. I know many people want to take up on that, but like what Peter Obi have said, Peter Gregory Obi, and of course his team, what they've said is if they do not perform, definitely the next 4 years they should vote them out, and they should hold them accountable for what they will be doing as the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Well, I wish your party, I wish you your principal all the best in the coming election, February 25th. Just around the corner. Thank you so much for being part of the program.
Thank you very much.
All right, that's the package on today's edition of Straight Talk, right here on Bright Television, home of talk and entertainment. We'll definitely follow suit and, of course, look at how we involve every other political party to see the manifesto, the preparedness, and, of course, the readiness towards the 2023 election, which is February 25th to start from that time for the presidential elections, and of course for other elections we all have dates as INEC has prepared us towards that direction. Well, like I always tell you, I keep telling you, when you play your part, I play my part. We have a better place called the Federal Republic of Nigeria. On behalf of everyone that's a part of this production this morning, we say a very big thank you. God bless you. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. My name is Ayobami Adeyemo. Goodbye.
Tell you for a fact that this election is between...
They sold farm recently for 100 million.
There's no meaningful development that can happen without peace, without us being united.
Arrest all unregistered vehicles.
I think we have shown the depth and breadth of talent in our Conservative Party.
because you want to prevent a situation whereby that powdery substance will be flushed immediately.